welcome to episode 22 of the Crochet Luna podcast. My name is Claudia and I'm coming to you from the San Diego area in Southern California, where I am getting this one right under the wire in July. So let's get started. Lots to talk about today. Life update first. I am doing very well. I had a couple RA flare-ups this month, but nothing too crazy. I mean, I did, one of them was a little crazy, but I'm all better now, and I've been crocheting up a storm, so I'm looking forward to sharing what I've got. In late June, my daughter was she went to the Del Mar County Fair, which is our county fair that we have every year in San Diego, with her Girl Scout troop. They went to raise the flag, and so we got to spend the day at the fair. And usually what I like to do at the fair, since going vegan, I really can't eat like 90% of the stuff there, but I like to go look at the crafts. That's my thing. I love to go look at the crafts, the knitting, the crochet, the quilting, whatever crafty thing they're displaying at the fair. I love to go spend time with it, but I'm the only one that likes to do that. So usually my husband has to go off with the kids, and we set a time to meet, because I don't want to drag them through the crafting section that they don't even want to look at anything, and then they're just, hurrying me along. And this particular year was pretty fantastic, because what they did at the Del Mar Fair is that they wanted to bring in more interactive workshops. So they brought a variety of people to just give free workshops. And so I looked at the schedule for that day, and they happened to have a rug punching class. Now, earlier this year, I bought a kit to do that, but I haven't even touched it. I haven't even opened it. But I was excited to go to this free workshop, and it was taught by a lovely lady, and she actually she went to study with, I think it's Susan Ashford, I think that's her name. I'll put the right name down here. She's the lady who developed the Ashford Punch, which everybody loves, and I can see why. It was so easy. For someone who's never done it, it was pretty easy to manipulate and use. And so what you got when you sat down was a little square of what is called monk's cloth, which is what is recommended for bug punching. And you got your punch needle, and then there was a variety of yarns that you could pick from. Now, these are rug yarns. These are not your typical, soft, are you gonna make something to wear type of yarns. These are really durable, rough almost yarns, but I loved it. So, and then they provided the hoop for you, which is not an embroidery hoop. They made a point of saying that embroidery hoops are not really meant for rug punching. They wanted you to use the rug hook that they recommended, and so they had pieces of monk cloth already stretched out, and they already had a design. This was a circle within a circle, and so what you do is actually you punch from this side. So if this is your hoop, you have your design, and then you're just punching this way. So this is your working side, but actually the rug side is this side, which you can see is a lot fluffier. It's raised as opposed to the back side, which is more flat. And I was just playing around. I was just playing around with the colors, because they were not sectioned off that way. I just did that just to make a different design. It was just like a circle within a circle, almost like a bullseye. But this was my sample. This took me, I want to say like an hour, maybe a little bit more. But there you go. I did some rug hooking. And I met this other lady who was, she came in later and she had these like amazing earrings that were done with the rug hooking. And I guess she and the lady who ran the workshop are working together, and they've put together what they call the Punch Needle Gang. And you can follow them online. You can see here, and I'll put a link to their Instagram as well as their website. She, the one particular lady who was teaching the class, actually sells all the material you need to get started. And she said this particular monk's cloth is imported from Canada, I believe, and she's one of the few people who actually carries it. It's very different, if you can see that. It's not like the embroidery canvas, or it's not like fabric. It's sturdy, so you can actually, if you make a mistake and you pull out your yarn, you can go back into the same place and it doesn't really affect anything. So I was super excited to try that. And like I said, if I can pull a photo of the earrings that she was working on and that she was displaying, I'll go ahead and put it right after this so that you can see. But again, check out the Punch Needle Gang and see what they're up to. And they're local to me, which is fantastic. The other person whose workshop I took was a super quick one, and it was for stencils. So they had these little plastic, almost sticky on stencils with that you stuck on this little chalkboard circle that had chalkboard paint, and then you just used more chalkboard paint to transfer on a little stain. They had different ones and I chose this one. Totally free. I mean, it was really, really fun this year at the fair. There was also a lady who was doing hand lettering, and she gave away free lettering markers and little worksheets that you could practice. And so the fair this year was so much fun. All I ate at the fair was corn on the cob and corn on the cob. I don't think I had anything else, because really they had like giant turkey legs. They had a giant, what was it? They had I think it was a piece of ham. It was like this big. And back when we used to eat meat, we would have taken that and we would have destroyed it. We would have eaten all of that. My daughter did get her turkey leg, which was like huge, and she ate most of it, which is pretty impressive. The other thing that I spent a lot of time on was organizing my cousin's baby shower, which was, I love event planning. I love to plan events. I didn't host it, my aunt hosted it, but I did do all the decorations and put together a bunch of really cool little things. And I will pop in some pictures so that you can see, because the cake came out so cute. And we had, I'll show you, I'm so into making the buttons now that I want to make a button for everything. So I designed 2 buttons for the baby shower. One was a Bad Witch button, and one was a Good Witch button. And so what I did is, when guests came into the party, I had them draw a button, so they couldn't pick if they were good witches or bad witches. They just reached in and got a button. For some reason, most of my family and her friends got bad witch buttons. right? To the point that people are like, oh, you only have Bad Witch buttons in there. And I'm like, no. I had 50-50 Bad Witch, Good Witch buttons. And then what I did is I had all the Good Witches together and had them take a picture with her. And then I got all the Bad Witches together and then they took a picture with her. So it was a lot of fun. And then we also had, you know, a game where you get like a little something to wear, and then if somebody catches you with your legs crossed or your arms crossed, you lose it, and the person that ends up with the most at the end of the day wins a prize. But these things were so cute. One of my aunts had them made. They were little. Oh, I told you the theme was Wizard of Oz. So the theme of the baby shower was Wizard of Oz, and so she had these little plastic pacifiers made. And look, this is a Tin Man. Look at how cute that is. And then here's a Dorothy. And no one actually wanted, even after they lost their pacifier, nobody wanted to give them up because they were so cute. So, you know, you wore it. If you got caught with your legs crossed, then you lost it. And so that was the baby shower, and it was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun. And baby, okay, so my cousin's was due, her due date was August 14th. She just had that baby on Sunday she had the baby. So thank God we had the baby shower when we did, because the baby was born the following weekend. So that is my little life update. Now, this last episode I talked about the bad girls for our Summer Romance Cal that I am co-hosting. Ugh, I can't even talk today. You guys, this episode's gonna be rough. I'm telling you right now. It has taken me days to get together all the stuff that I gotta get together. Then it's been like over 100 degrees. It's been so hot. I apologize for noise because I've got a fan, I got air conditioning. It's been miserable. I am recording late in the day because during like any earlier, and I just can't handle it. It's too hot. And so it's taken me days to get ready. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough. But okay, so we're talking bad girls on this episode. Bad girls we love for the Summer Romance Cal 2018, co-hosted, that I'm co-hosting with Clarisabeth of Crochet Cakes. It's gonna come to an end August 13th. I know that's not a lot of time left, but you guys have done an amazing job. So the last time I checked, which was I think last night, we had 27 FOs. Some of you with multiple FOs, some of you with multiple garment FOs, which, damn, that is so good, you guys. That is amazing. But I have my list of 9 bad girls that I want to share with you. Remember last episode I talked to you guys about why women are attracted to bad boys, and I do apologize. I did not fill out my show notes, but by the time this episode airs, I will not only have show notes on the last episode of everything I talked about, but I'll have show notes for this episode. But I had read articles and studies, and there was all this stuff out there about, you know, why women are attracted to bad boys. I go do my research as to why men are attracted to bad girls, and it was trash. I had to read stuff from like Cosmo and like Maxim. I mean, it was like ridiculous stuff. I mean, so much ridiculous crap that I stopped reading I just kind of summarized a couple of things. I just frankly could not keep reading it. It was so ridiculous. But basically, the reason men are attracted to bad girls, we've got 7 qualities that kept coming up. Number 1 was forthrightness. Like, the bad girls don't play mind games because they're just going to tell you things as they are. Number 2, they're independent. Number 3, they're confident. Number 4, they're naughty. I came across this word so many times, it was annoying. Number 5, they're adventurous. Number 6, they're seductive. And number 7, they're passionate. So a girl that encompasses all these qualities is men think they're a bad girl. They're attracted to her because she pushes them to do things they might not ordinarily do. They're seen as adventurous not only in life but in bed, and so that's attracted to them. One thing I thought was interesting is that I read something about how men keep trying to save bad girls because they want to save them basically from themselves, but it turns out bad girls don't really want to be saved, and they don't really care. So guys just keep going back for more. And then the one that really pissed me off, it's how one bad girl will ruin a guy for the rest of his life and he'll never trust women again. Is that not the most ridiculous thing you've ever heard? I'm sure you've seen it, and I'm sure you know men like that. But one bad woman will ruin a good man for the rest of his life. Come on. Come on. So as you can see, I just kind of had it with that. But I did come up with a list. I do have a list of bad girls, and funny enough, a lot of them are like from comics, and I have one from a game. But I will, I'll just show you my list. Now, of course, you're more than welcome to comment on more bad girls in this, because I'm sure there's a lot. But one of the things is, like, I had to really focus on the fact that we're not talking about badass girls, because there's a lot of great badass women in film and literature and you know, TV. So we're not talking about badass chicks, which there are plenty of. We're talking about bad girls we love. Number 1, Miss Harley Quinn. First of all, she lends herself to a lot of awesome colors, and I absolutely love this picture of her from the movie. Number 2, and somebody actually did something based on this character. I really think she is a bad girl, and I know a lot of people love her. Miss Scarlett O'Hara from Gone with the Wind. I was so close to rewatching this movie the other night. I really like it. I mean, and I love the costumes in this movie. Okay, for sure, bad girl we love. Rowena from Supernatural. You know I had to get some Supernatural in there. She's a little bad witch that we love. And I think somebody is doing Rowena, and more than one person might be doing Rowena. Okay, Cersei Lannister from Game of Thrones. Right? Am I right? Look at that dress, though. I could totally see a shawl with these colors, and it would be fantastic. So I picked her. Now, this is one of my favorites, because I'm such a huge fan of the show. Dolores from Westworld. If you guys have not seen Westworld, I highly recommend that you see this show. I personally loved it. I loved season 1. I love season 2. I know season 2 is getting a lot of hate for some reason. I don't know why. I thought it was fabulous. And Dolores does go through a little bit of a costume transformation, but I love her in this blue dress. So I would definitely represent her with these blues that she's wearing. Okay, this one is one that my husband suggested. Actually, he suggested two. Red Sonja. Now, she looks like a badass, but I guess she's badass and bad. Red Sonja from the comic books. And then there's one that I have zero reference, but he said I should definitely put her in because she's a bad girl. And Lacey, you probably know who this is. I have to refer to my notes because I forgot her name. Let me see. She is Sylvana's Windrunner from World of Warcraft. I love her colors though. I would definitely do something with her colors. She is what, like the leader of the undead or something like that. My husband, let me tell you, he was a crazy World of Warcraft gamer. I played World of Warcraft, but I was a cute little paladin. I think I was a paladin. But I'm just not a gamer. I just don't have the patience for it. I mean, it was like run, you know, chip at stuff. I don't know, a couple fights. I don't know, throw some spells. I couldn't get into it. Maybe, and you know, I'm from the video game generation, right? I should love gaming because, you know, I grew up with the Ataris and the Nintendos and all that, but I never really got into it. I mean, I'm a very passive gamer in my day. I rocked the Tetris. That's what I love to play, Tetris. I mean, come on. Maybe a little Pac-Man. For sure, a little Centipede, and that was like my limit. Okay, moving right along. I've got Poison Ivy. Look at those colors. How cool is that? I love this comic. And then last but not least, and like I said, the list is short and I'm missing 1,001 bad girls. But Cruella de Vil. I love this picture, and I could totally see working something with this. So that is my list for bad girls. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. Instead, share in the comments for your bad girl that you would like to add to the list. Now, let's talk prizes, because I haven't talked about the prizes yet. I feel very, very fortunate that I get to, through this podcast and through Instagram and through social media, have been able to make some really incredible friends and really incredibly talented people that are willing to donate to the podcast and are willing to, you know, give of their craft and their talents so that I can put together prize packages that I think are wonderful and just very unique. And I reached out to Caleisha, who is from the Quirky Monday podcast. This past month we did a swap. She liked some of my new pins, and I mentioned to her that I really, really loved her African print project bags that she makes. So we did a swap, and she was kind enough to include an extra project bag. So excuse me, part of the Summer of Romance FO price package will include this incredible project bag made by Caleisha. Look at these colors, you guys. It's got a beautiful little stitch marker, progress keeper. It's got its handle that detaches, and the inside is just a plain white, which I love, just a plain white inside, because I think it's easier to find things. So you will get this beautiful bag. You will also get this yarn from Casual Fashion Queen in the color, I think it's Guru. Yeah, Guru. It's in 8515, so it's 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, 471 yards. It's fingering weight. It's absolutely gorgeous. Look at all those colors. So you will get this yarn. And then my mother, who was in El Salvador, my mom travels back and forth to El Salvador. We have family there. My grandfather's there, and I have, like I said, I have family there, so she travels there. Every time she goes there, I always have her bring me back a box. And one of the reasons I have her do that is because I really, really love the way that the crafts are done in El Salvador, the aesthetic of them. And so I wanted to share that with you guys. And so the winner of the FO thread will get one of these beautiful handcrafted boxes that have come, my mom's brought back from El Salvador. And I wanted to talk to you guys about this because, you know, I just like to share little bits of art here and there. But I can recognize stuff from El Salvador all the time because it has a certain look to it. And the reason it has a certain look to it is because of one person. He is a Salvadorian artist who's still alive. His name is Fernando Llort. I will put the name down here. And what Fernando Llort did is basically he has established, and this is a direct quote from an article that I read, he is the point of reference for the iconography of El Salvador, which means if you go to El Salvador, you will see this style of art in everything. You might see it on walls as murals. You will see it definitely in wooden objects like this box. You will see it in cups and towels and t-shirts. It is just it's just the style of art that is just so El Salvador to me that I can recognize it almost anywhere I go. And when he was 23, he went to live in this small town in the northern mountains of El Salvador called La Palma. And it was an agricultural town, but he was determined to develop a way to make art that would not only be a way to sustain yourself, make a living, but he wanted to spread that idea throughout. So it's funny because I was reading this article, I read a couple of them. It basically started with a seed. He was walking around La Palma and he was seeing children playing with these seeds, and he noticed that when you rub the seed, it would uncover a white, like a white shell or a white part of the seed with this very dark frame to it. So to him, it looked like the perfect place to put a painting because it already had like a little dark frame. And so he started painting these little seeds, and it became huge. The name of the seed is Copiñol, and I will show you in this article. It kind of shows you like how it goes from this to this. See, here's the white part of the seed with the little frame around it, and it becomes either a little crucifix or other things. Now, I've shown you guys this before, but it's so funny because I was looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have one of those. So this is a stitch marker that I made from a little crucifix that I had picked up years ago in El Salvador. This is the seed, and they paint on it little images, and this was the start of that whole movement. So then he goes on to make beautiful paintings, and he teaches the people of the town how to do this. If you go there now, it is a huge tourist attraction, huge. And the style, and I'll show you because in my house I have lots of this kind of stuff. The style has remained pretty much the same. Here is another box. This is one of my boxes. He was very much influenced by Mayan art, and you always see things like this. He's very connected to God, and he always will have a lot of doves and crosses and things like that. And for my wedding, I ordered I had my mom find someone who would make little boxes that I could give as party favors. So for my wedding, I had these little boxes made. Here's, you can see it's got a little, I don't know what that is. Could be a little sheep or it could be a little dog. See, but I had a lot of these made. I want to say I had like 100 of these made, and these were all in different colors, and everything is hand painted. So everything in these boxes is hand done. And there's also a crucifix that I have in my house that has that same style of painting. I love this crucifix. I know as a Catholic, the crucifix is Jesus on the cross, and you know, you see that and it's him suffering. I never like to see it because I hate to see him suffer. So my crucifix is about love and about being there with people, and so this is why I chose this one. And there's also one a little bit different style that shows a little bit more of a darker line. So this is it. This is the plate that I have. And so I just wanted to share that with you guys. It's just a little part of my life, my culture. So you will get this beautiful box, and I figure you can put 1,000 stitch markers in there or whatever other little notions you want, but that is going to be part of the price package. And I'm going to throw in a couple of other things, and it's going to be great. So that is Summer Romance 2018. That will be closing on August 13th. Next thing I want to talk about is the second quarter winner of the Box of Ornament Cal. This is a year-long Cal that's running on my Ravelry group. I know that I have failed miserably because I've yet to post anything in there. I gotta get on it. I knew this was gonna happen. I have got to get some ornaments done, you guys. But I have a winner, and the winner is Mistytat. So Sandra contacted me with a pattern of your choosing off of Ravelry, up to $10 in value, and that is your prize for putting in some lovely ornaments in the Box of Ornaments Cal thread on Ravelry. Remember, if you want to participate, it goes through November, and I will do a swap if you're interested in doing the swap, where you can exchange ornaments with somebody else. That should be fun. And yeah, I gotta get on it. I really have to get on it. So the other thing is, I didn't talk about last time because I couldn't print it out for some reason, but I have the winner of the Craft Hustle quote. This is a giveaway I ran on Ravelry. Yeah, the thread was on Ravelry, but you could also enter on Instagram, where you came up with your own inspirational quote that you were going to share, and you could do a visual for it. I really wanted a visual for it. Only one person did anything for that. Only one. Which is fine. It's not like a yarny thing. But she did an amazing job. And that's my friend Claudia in Germany. And she did a collage. And the collage, and her quote is, "Life is too short to keep it all in." She did this amazing collage. Look at it. I love it. Claudia, you did such a good job. I love, love, love this. I've had this hanging on my wall, and I love looking at it. So, I mean, like, look at that. Wonder Woman, and look at that. All these things that she put together. I mean, it's just fantastic. So you are going to win the Stash a Buster pin with a couple pins from Quoe of the Quoe podcast, from Quaylin of the Quoe podcast, who gifted these to me a while back. You are going to be able to get these, and thank you so much for participating, Claudia. It was lovely, lovely to receive your submission. I love it. Like I said, it's hanging on my wall. I've decided I'm going to take a little cow break, which is not really true, because I am going to participate in the Loft Along, although in a little bit of an accelerated way. But because of the September sock along that's coming, I think that for the next month, I will probably not be too heavily involved in any more cows. I've got a lot of planning to do. I have a trip to Vegas planned in the next couple of weeks, where I'll be meeting up for sure with Hannah and a couple of other podcasting friends, where we are going to get together and crochet some more. I'm so excited about it. I've actually contacted an indie dyer in Las Vegas that I'm hoping will come out and meet us. Initially, she said she will bring like a little mini trunk show to us, which I think is amazing. And she agreed that we could do a little interview with her, so stay tuned for that. But I have Vegas in August, and then I have my huge trip to Yarndale in September, and I need to start getting ready for that. I need to start wrapping my head around it, and it's crazy. It's here. It's here, you guys. It's here. It's literally around the corner. So I'm going to lay off the cows after Loft. I probably will not, like I said, I probably won't be doing any more cows until Sock Along, which I believe we're going to do towards the end of September, not the beginning. So that's it for that. Okay, it's time to talk finished objects. And I have finished objects, which I'm so happy about. One I finished a long, long time ago, and I don't remember if I ever talked about it. You saw me wearing it. It's a little crochet necklace that I made. It actually has my old Crochet Luna wooden tag on it, but it's still super cute. It's just little granny stitches, and I got the pattern from Divine Debris, I think it is. I'll put the name down here. She does amazing stuff. Amazing. This is actually a free pattern, so if you want to make something quick and cute, this is definitely something that, you know, brightens up. Like my black shirt looks pretty cool with it. I like it. So you can make this in any color. And actually, I'm sure if you went, and I did it with thread, so that's why it's really small, but I'm sure if you did it with a bigger yarn, you would get like a nice bigger collar. But anyway, this is my Cheating FO object number 1. my little necklace. My next FO I am really happy with, and I can't wear it right now because it's still too hot to wear this kind of stuff, but it's amazing. It's simple. I can't recommend it enough. I love it. I'll probably make another one. It is my Tide Pool summer top. This is Tide Pool Tank by Plunkett. It's very simple. There's no shaping involved. It's this one right here. There's no shaping involved. It's just 2 flat panels, and you just crochet them and you seam them up, and there you go. So here is the back of it. Loved this pattern. So this is what mine looks like. It's this really pretty blue color. You can see the lace. I don't know, do you call this lace? Well, these open lace work here, and then the back is just the same thing, but it goes down the whole bottom of the top. I need to take some pictures with it on. It's just been too hot, and I will for sure wear it when it gets a little bit cooler. I love the color. The yarn that I used is Novato Yarn. This is I think 100%, I think I talked about this before, and I did the same thing last time I was looking at it. It's 88% acrylic, 12% polyester. It's by the Omega Yarn Company. It's called Novato. Look at the price on this yarn. It's $2.29 a ball. I think I used a little over 5 balls. So it's for less than $15. I got this cool little top. I really love it. Like I said, I have to do another one because it was such a relaxing make. It was just like a back and forth, and I love that. I love being able to have like a no-think project. It wasn't until you get up here, and definitely back here, what I would suggest if you do this top is to use some stitch markers, because I did get a little away from the pattern, and I ended up with a larger section that just kind of went up like this, so I had to undo it. So if you put a stitch marker at the beginning and the end of when you're supposed to be doing the skips on this pattern, you'll have no problem. So this is the Tide Pool top by Plunkett. I will tell you, I never got gauge with it. It was part of my gauge issues that I was having, that I've been having. And you know what I've realized, and correct me if I'm wrong, you guys out there who make garments all the time. The way I am understanding gauge now is you really have to know how things are going to fit you. So I actually used, when I crocheted this, and I have to reference my notes, I think I used the larger size for the starting chain, but I use the smaller length size because I'm short. And so I kind of was like, you know, trying it on and seeing, you know, okay, I think this is where I want to stop, and I need this part to start up here. So I was able to customize it based on how my body is. So never got gauged with this, never. I just couldn't get gauge. And I know I'm not using the yarn that they're recommending, so I'm sure that's part of the problem. But I did that. I did the same thing with another FO that I'm going to talk about, where I had to kind of mix the starting chain with and then the length was completely customized, because if I would have gone based on what they were saying here, it just wasn't going to work for me. But it's a great pattern. It's just it's 2 flat panels, and you seam them up. That's it. That's all you do. So it doesn't get any easier than that. It really doesn't. So that is my FO number. Another FO I want to talk to you about is one that I actually showed on my last podcast, but I had someone reach out to me, I believe it was Alicia, who reached out to me asking me about the gauge issues with this pattern. And I did have gauge issues, and that is on the sleeveless tank from Simply Crochet magazine. I'll put the details down here so that you know what pattern it is. It's this one right here. Could not get gauge. Could not get gauge for the life of me. And I used the exact yarn that they asked for and the recommended hook size, and couldn't get gauge. So I actually ended up crocheting the smallest starting chain on this pattern. That's the one that worked for me. And actually, I think it was Alicia. If I'm wrong, I do apologize. I will check my email to see, because she sent me an email. She reached out because she said she was trying to do the size that she thought would be her size, and it was just too big. So she ended up going smaller and smaller. She did finish it. You can look at her Instagram for it. The pattern is absolutely beautiful. I love it. I love the detail of the collar. I love the shell pattern that it has. It's really pretty. I like the way it fits. Even though I'm not a big sleeveless person, I like cap sleeves at least. I love this pattern, and I did it tunic size. I just kept going and going and going. And that's what I did. I know I didn't properly show this on the last podcast because it was on the mannequin. I think I was a little tired of seeing it, so I'm like, I'll finish that. Look at that. But this is a nice pattern, but you have to be aware that you need that starting chain to kind of make sense, or else you're going to end up with a tent. It's going to be too big. But you know, like I was saying, I was so frustrated because I kept trying to do these patterns, and I could not get gauge, and therefore I felt like, well, nothing's going to fit, especially because I'm trying to do some garments. I was really frustrated by that. So this is an FO from last time, but I didn't properly talk about it. The yarn that I use is the recommended yarn, which I ordered from Wool Warehouse, which is the Wendy Love It yarn, and it's really pretty red. And I ended up using almost 5 balls. This is the last of, was that 5? No, 4. I think it was 4, and this is what was left over from the 4th ball, because I have a whole one of these. So that, and I think I did put the notes on my Ravelry page for this project. Go check it out. I do believe I did put the notes on what I did. I have to get better at that. I'm just not very good at it. The yarn is pilling a little bit. I can tell you that the fuzziness, I don't mind. I really don't mind. It's crochet. It's yarn. It's gonna do that. I'm not too crazy fanatical about that. So now, you guys. So I had zero intention of making this pattern right now. Zero. I had seen it. I loved it. But I thought, no, Claudia. No, 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 no. You've got to focus on blur. You've got to get that out. It's for your cowl. You've got to do it. No, 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 no. Turn away. Turn away, turn away. And then Lacey from Hooked on Owls put her shawl up. Then Rocky Mountain Penny put her shawl up. I'm like, I said to Rosina, I gotta make it. I gotta do it. I have to get it done. I have the perfect yarn for it. I already knew. Like, I already knew the yarn that I was gonna use. I had already worked it out in my head. So I'm like, screw it. Put everything aside. Stop the presses. I'm going to do Rapture, and I'm going to bust it out ASAP. So I wound up my yarn and I started working on it. Love it. You guys, you need to make Rapture. You have to make it. It is so much fun. It is very, okay, if you need to be told after each section, after each number of stitches, put a stitch marker because those are the increases, this is not going to be the pattern for you. This is the freestyle pattern where she's like, divide it into 6 equal sections and alternate those because that way you won't get a weird line going up when you increase. So it's very free. It's very free and you didn't have to think about it. I was just like, yeah, that looks good. I really didn't do too much stitch counting, even though she gives you a fantastic way of following the stitch count and following the way you should be doing your yarn changes. The pattern is fabulous. I love it. I will tell you that the way I did my increases was, if I knew I was coming up to an increase row, I put my stitch markers in the row below that. That's the only technique that I use that's different from the way Rosina does it. She uses the yarn technique, which I will actually put the video. As Rosina has said, she liked that technique that Deanne from Addydae Design used on the Ravelry shawl to be able to mark the increases. She's used the same technique for Rapture. There is a video that Deanne has that shows you how to use yarn to as a place marker, basically. I didn't do that. I just kind of like eyeballed it. Every increase row, I'm like, oh, I'm coming to an increase row. Let me put these stitch markers. And then when I did the increase, I did my increase after the stitch marker. So it worked out great. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to see my Rapture shawl? Which I am, it's like my baby puppy. It's like I'm holding it, I'm carrying it around, I'm admiring it. I keep shoving it in my husband's face going, isn't this the most fantastic thing you've ever seen? Which he's been so patient with me. I had this thing stretched on our bed and he walked by, he goes, ooh, look at that edging. It's just great. Don't know if he was being sarcastic or not, but okay. This is Rapture. This is my Rapture shawl. Are you guys seeing this incredible border? This absolutely kick-ass border. This is a kick-ass border. This is so fantastic. It just came off the blocking mats last night. So I love it. I love it so much. I want to make another one. The challenging part of this shawl is not the body of the shawl. You can bust through the body of the shawl so quickly. It's not where the challenge is. The challenge is your border. And I was halfway through this border when I realized I'd made a mistake and I had to pull it all out because it's in the beginning that I made the mistake. So if you look here, I mean, it's alternating colors. It alternates colors, right? So it's gray, pink, gray, pink, gray. Well, I ended up having 2 gray stripes coming off next to each other in every single one of my peaks except for one. And I was so crazy about like finishing this quickly, so crazy about like doing this border, and I was loving it, that I snapped a picture of it and posted it on Instagram. You can still go see it. And I'm like, oh my god, that's so great. I'm like, what the hell? And I noticed, and then I'm looking at it going, I have 2 gray stripes next to each other. Now, some of you might say, Claudia, who would have noticed it? You know, you should have just left it. There's no way. There's no way I was going to leave it that way. I put too much effort and time into the shawl to leave such a horrible mistake in it. Did it take me an extra day because I pulled it all apart? Yes, it did. Yes, it did. I don't care because I am so in love with this shawl. Look at the back of it. So it's like this and like this. Like this and like this. Oh, Rosina, I love this pattern. And I took this, where did I take this? I was working on this. Oh, I was working at this at the learning center where my kids are doing some summer work. And this lady sat next to me. And I was in that mode where I was like, oh my gosh, do not talk to me. Do not talk to me because I cannot lose focus. And she's like, oh my God. So she went off on this shawl. And I was trying to be so patient. And the whole time, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my place. I'm going to lose my shit if I make a mistake on this border. But really, the in-between for me, okay, this was my challenge. For me, the in-between parts, because it's front post stitches, right? They're raised stitches, they're beautiful. That wasn't the challenge for me, was the actual peaks and the edges. This was a challenge. So she's got a tutorial that you can access when you're doing the border. That is a must. You must watch it. Even if you think that you're a badass crocheter and that you can just read the instructions and do it, I would highly recommend that you watch the tutorial and listen to what she has to say, because everything is said for a reason, and she makes good points to remind you that yarns need to be alternating, which I don't know why I for some reason didn't pay attention to that. And what gets me is that I did almost half this border and did not pick up on that. Anyway, it's gonna curl up. You have to block it. If you've never blocked a shawl in your life, you must block this shawl. You have to, because if not, your beautiful interlocking crochet is not going to look so beautiful. But this yarn here is Woolen Boon. I got this when I was with Sandra of the Cherry Heart podcast, when she came to visit to California and we did our little yarn crawl. This is one of the yarns that I picked up that I absolutely fell in love with. Then let's see, it's the Woolen Boon, and it's super cool party people. That's the name of the yarn. That's the company, Woolen Boon. Then this teal color yarn, and actually, okay, remember I told you I did that swap with Caleisha of the Quirky Monday podcast? This is the bag that she made for me. This bag. This gorgeous, gorgeous print. This is so beautiful. I love it. So, the teal is this color right here. And this was a Lemonade Shop, and it was, here's the card, Lemonade Shop. My color is opal. That's this color right here. That's the one that I use for my stripes. And the thing about it is, and I have to take better pictures. There are no finished object pictures in my Instagram or on Ravelry yet. I will have to take those tomorrow. But this yarn has some, these are actually, they're looking green right now, but they're actually kind of tealy spots. And I thought it would work really great with this yarn, the yellow. So that's Lemonade Shop. And then this pink yarn is Lemonade Shop as well, and it's called Indian Corn. Again, Lemonade Shop. the yarn is Indian corn. And then I used a Malabrigo yarn, which I stole from my Lucinda shawl. This was destined to be in my Lucinda shawl, but it ended up working really well with this one. This is the eggplant color, Malabrigo eggplant, which is that really pretty color. I paired that up with this pink yarn. I had to tell you a story about this pink yarn. So I put the picture on Instagram of all the yarns that I was going to use. And I said, oh, I must have lost the ball band to this pink yarn. I'm really sorry. I don't know what it is. So then Melody of the Melody Crochet podcast says, oh, I think that might be a Malabrigo. And I said, well, your guess is as good as mine because I don't know. And then not like 5 minutes goes by and she's like, oh yeah, I dyed that yarn for you, and I'm looking at 3 more skeins of that on my wall. So I'm calling this yarn Amnesia Pink because we both could not remember that she had gifted me this beautiful yarn. So these two together are my border, and then the rest is history. This is Rapture, and I love it, love it, love it, love it. Everybody should make one. I feel like this shawl has been like a workshop for me. I've never done this technique. I've never done an edging on a shawl like this. So I feel like this shawl has bumped my crochet experience several levels up. I think that this technique is amazing, and had Rosina not put it in this shawl, I probably wouldn't have tried it. I've seen things that look like crochet brioche, and I think that's another name for this, but I felt really intimidated by it. I really did. I'm like, there's no way I can do that. But now that I've done this, I feel like I can go back to those patterns that I thought, no, this is going to be too complicated, and really tackle them because I now have the understanding and the skill to be able to do so. So I feel like this is not only a beautiful shawl, I feel like it's a skill enhancing shawl. If you're looking to do some skill enhancing, definitely. I referenced the video with every repeat of the edging. I would start at the beginning of where she does the beginning part of it, and I would go row by row, only because there's certain things about it that for some reason I took notes and I couldn't remember, but the video to me was key to be able to do this shawl, and I can't recommend it enough. I love it. You won't be disappointed. You're going to end up with the most fantastic shawl. It's such a stunning piece. You're going to end up with a fantastic piece to wrap yourself with this winter or fall. So I'll take some better pictures, and I just can't look at. I'm like obsessed. I'm like obsessed with this thing. I went to a poker night at my cousin's house on Saturday, took it with me, and I got shit from my husband because he's like, you know, you shouldn't have been crocheting at the poker table because you were not focused. True that, because I lost a bunch of money, but I had to finish my Rapture. I couldn't stop crocheting on it, and I can't stop squishing it. And when I laid it out to block it, I just like stood there and looked at it. I'm like, I made that. I can't believe these arthritic hands made that. It was amazing. So that is Rapture. Rosina, to me, this is, you've hit it out of the ballpark. This is an amazing pattern, and I will probably make another one. I really will. I mean, I already have the color combination for the second one, but more on that later. Not this episode. Let's talk works in progress. I have a few works in progress that I want to share with you, starting with my blurred line sweater. Have not been working on, it's been so hot, just the thought of working on a sweater just put me off, but I gotta get it done, and I did start working on it. It's living for right now, because it's gonna be a sweater. It probably won't fit after a while, but right now it's living in my beautiful brushed canvas, brushed cotton bag, tweed bag from Faye of Knit It, Hook It, Craft It. And it's got part of my Summer Romance kit that I still have 5 left, you guys. You should, if you want to grab one now. I've only got 5 left, and I'm actually probably going to put, I have some extra pins left. I'm probably going to put the pins on their own for sale as well. But definitely, if you want to pick up a Summer of Romance crochet along kit, you should do it. It comes with a nice project card where you can keep your notes on your project. And the first yarn that I'm going to use is this one here. I'm starting off with the black one. This is my Wolfy wool yarn that Heidi dyed for me. And this is the color Smoke. My bad boy is Negan from Walking Dead. And I only have that much left. Done. That's all I've done. So, not much. But when I first showed it to you, I only had like this much left. So, I've done that much. So, I definitely have to get back to this. And I don't think this is going to be finished by the end of the crochet along. But I've got to get it done. So, this is a work in progress that I gotta work on. And then I have a new work in progress that I had no business starting. But after I did Rapture, because I was doing working with the fingering weight, I always like to, after I do fingering weight stuff, I like to do a little bit bigger weight stuff, just because I want just to do something different. And this is a top that I've been wanting to make for a while. I have shown the pattern before. It is called the Sky Sail Top by Lena Fedotova. It is a paid pattern. It's a granny stitch top. It's a granny stitch top. It's really, really, really awesome how it's done. Her pattern, this is a paid pattern. It is an 11-page pattern. It's got schematics, it's got a chart, it's got detailed instructions, it's got everything. You can make this. The recommended yarn weight is DK. I happen to have just ordered my first taste of Stylecraft Special DK. I ordered this for a top for my mom, and she didn't like the color, so I'm going to use it for my top. And I'm pairing it up with 2 Knitpicks yarns that I've had in my stash. They're Brava Sport in the color is Umber Heather, and Camel Heather. So it's these 2 plus this one. This is going to be my top. It's very fall. I know. I'm over summer and I'm into fall. And I've done the beginning of it. I'll show you. It's this. This is the front of it. And I'm sporting one of my Melody Crochet stitch markers that she sent to me, and I'm sporting a Hannah from the Cozy Cottage Crochet stitch marker that she sent to me. So yeah, see, it's like a triangle like this, and it's gonna go here, and then it's gonna have the other colors at the bottom. This is such a quick make. I mean, I literally did this in, oh my gosh, a couple hours? I don't know, less than that? No, less than that. But look at, so pretty the color. It's just a granny stitch. And if you look at it this way, it's like a weird looking square. but when you turn it this way, it all makes sense. So I'm working on that because I really want to have a lot more tops, and I'm not looking to do sweaters right now except for the blurred lines. It's living in a bag that Melody actually painted for me. She hand painted that bag, and I put some of my new pins on there. I'll talk about these later, but here's my Crochet Powers Activate pin, my Happiness is Crochet pin, and my Equal Opportunity Yarn Lover pin. So that's all happily living in this gorgeous handmade bag. Well, bag I think she bought pre-made, but the beautiful painting she did on the bag. So that is my works in progress. Now, let's talk pins. I have a whole set of pins that are out and made, and I'll talk about those at the end. But I'm working right now on a series of pins. One of them is some seasonal pins that are for, you know, spring, summer, fall, and winter. And then I'm working on a Halloween pin and a Christmas pin. And so the summer pin obviously is going to be for next summer because summer is almost over, but it's going to look like this. Summer crochet, yay! Yay! And then the fall pin has been a challenge for me. I've redone that pin so many times. It's not done, but I will show you my Halloween pin, which I think is really cute. This is going to be the Halloween crochet pin. And then I've got my winter crochet pin, which is in addition to the Christmas crochet pin that I'm working on. It's going to look like this. This is winter crochet, yay, with a bunch of cute little snowflakes. And then my favorite one, which was also very challenging, so I'm really happy with the way this turned out. This is my spring crochet yay pin for spring. So these are off to the maker, the manufacturer, and should be, what I'm hoping is that I will have this whole new set of pins ready to go when I go to Yarndale, so that I can ship, you know, bring some with me instead of shipping them to Faye. Bring some with me so that they will be in her online shop, Knit It, Hook It, Craft It, for you guys to purchase. And so I'm trying to get all these things done before I leave, and the turnaround time is quick with my manufacturer, but still I need about 3 weeks, I think, in turnaround time. And I also have a very special pin that I want to talk about, which is going to be my my UK pin that I'm bringing with me to give to all you wonderful people who will come out to Yarndale and say hi to me. This is going to be the Crochet Luna UK pin. So I'm having this one made, and just come up to me, say hi, and I will give you a pin. If you want to swap pins, that would be awesome. I would love that. But you don't have to. You can just come say hi to me, and you can get a nice pin from me. Speaking about Yarndale, no, let me not get off track. Let me not get off track. So those are my works in progress. I have my knitting work in progress, which I've been working on. I've taken a little break from it. It has grown a little bit since I've last showed you. And it's my Garters Away shawl by Sandra of the Cherry Heart podcast. I didn't make the deadline for her make along. Look how pretty that is. such a pretty yarn. But I'm still plugging away at it, and I'm still hoping to finish this soon. The yarn is Long Dog Yarns, and it's gorgeous, gorgeous color. And the pattern is Garters Boy, which is, I think it's a great beginner's pattern. Because it's just garter stitch, and then there's going to be an edging that I have to put on it. But I'm still working on it. I put a couple rows here and there, but I've just been a crochet machine. I mean, Rapture just took all my attention. So oh, but it's living in my beautiful bag that Sandra made for me. Look how pretty that is. I mean, this is just like the most perfect little package. The yarn, the bag, the everything. It's just perfect. I love this. Sits by my sofa in the living room, and I walk past it and I love it, and I look at it and I smile. So it's just joy. I love it. Okay, now it's time for my project queue. What's on my project queue? It's gone crazy. Today was a crazy day. Challenge was thrown out there. The gauntlet was thrown. I have to pick it up. I had plans to do other things, but what can you do? When you're challenged, you just gotta answer that challenge. I saw that Faye from the Crochet Circle Project, how do we say that? From the Crochet Circle Podcast, and Stephanie, the Tatter, were doing what they called a loft off. Okay? She put out loft and DK version of loft, which I love. I have the 4-ply version, but she put out the DK version of loft. This woman is like a machine, you guys. Knitted and crocheted. Oh yeah, let me just knit it and crochet it in DK weight and write those patterns. She's crazy. So threw the gauntlet down to do a loft off by this Friday. I'm recording Monday. Today is Monday, July 30th. This coming Friday, let's see who gets theirs done, right? Which Stephanie's been working on hers. I haven't even wound my yarn. Faye says she's got an 8-hour ferry ride somewhere that I guess she's gonna bust some crochet time on her loft. But yeah, I am now going to do a loft off because I was challenged. I had to answer the challenge. And it just so happens that I have some beautiful knit by numbers by John Arvin yarn that actually Faye sent to me last year. And I'm like, I already have the yarn, got the pattern, it's on. So this is gonna be, my color combinations are very, very fall, and it's gonna be this. This is like a pink, and then this is a beautiful brown, beautiful orange, and this sort of like dusty pink. I don't even know what you call that color, but I think these work well. I think it's gonna be like this. I decided it was gonna be like this. And these are living in a Fringe Supply bag that I bought a while ago. It's one of their little knotting, what do they call these? I don't know. Knot bags? I don't know. Whatever. But it's perfect. I love it. I just love the ease of this. But yeah, I'm going to get started on this tonight. The pattern says it should take 16 hours to do. 16 hours, you guys. Can I do it in 16 hours? Can I beat Stephanie and Faye and Lisa, who's going to join? Can I do it if I start tonight and don't sleep for the next 16 hours. I mean, if I don't sleep tonight and keep crocheting until tomorrow, I won't do that. I won't do that. I'll definitely start tonight. I have till Friday, but I want to beat them. I want to beat them both. I want to be the first one done. And Stephanie is like halfway done. So I'm crazy. Challenge accepted. My next whip is going to be my Yarndale hat. It's literally called Skippin' Hat. This is going to be my Yarndale hat that I'm going to make. It's by Vicki Brown. This is a free pattern actually, which is amazing. It's a free pattern. And I have the perfect yarn for it. I bought this again with Sandra when we did our little yarn crawl. It is spun right round. It's DK weight, so it's perfect because the pattern asks for DK weight yarn. And this is called Graffiti. So this is going to be my yarn for the hat. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty! It's so pretty. And so that's going to be my, this is after I finish Loft. If my hands have not fallen off, I will be working on this because I need to have this done so I can take it with me. I may or may not use a hat, but I definitely want to have it. That is living in my Ash Love Makes bag with my little, I call them my little moon otters because there's moons and there's otters. Otters on Saturn? So that's a beautiful bag. She's making, I think she's doing a sale in her shop. You should check it out. Ashley from Ash Love Makes has an Etsy shop. I will put her Etsy shop in the down bar. Check it out. I think she's going to have a sale. She's either having a sale or she's going to have a sale. I'm not sure. But beautiful, beautiful bag. Beautifully made bag. I mean, I love it. This, I think it might have some light interfacing because it stands up very nicely. So Ash Love Makes. Here's your tag. Let's support our makers, you guys. They work hard. Welcome to Yarnopolis. This is my acquisition segment. I have acquisitions that I'm excited to talk to you about. So I will start off with yarn that I bought at the San Diego County Fair. They have, ooh, I saw people shearing sheep at the fair. I'd never seen that in my life. It was amazing. This lady was doing it and she was such a pro, and I talked to her briefly afterwards. The sheep was black and I think it had some white spots. And I said to her, you know, do you sell the, what do you call the fleece, or do you guys just destroy it? Because, you know, sometimes that happens with the black sheep fleece. And she says they actually have a lady who buys a lot of their fleece for doll hair. So she, you know, because it was a curly fleece on these sheep and it's got these beautiful curls, and she just uses it for doll hair, and so that she buys it. So I thought that was really interesting. But I'd never seen a sheep actually shorn. Is that the word? I don't know what's the past tense of to shear. I don't know. I'll have to look it up. But I also saw the alpacas were there, and we have several alpaca farms here in San Diego, but only one mill. And so I happened to talk to the lady from A Simpler Time Alpacas and Mill. This is their card. She was telling me that there was another mill, but I guess it closed down, and they are the ones processing a lot of fiber down here at their mill. And they do a mill tour, and they'll do an alpaca tour, which I missed both in July, which I was kind of bummed about. But it was like 105 one Saturday when they had it. I'm like, I'll die. So I didn't go. And then the following tour was during the baby shower, so obviously I didn't go. I was happily recording away, talking about the alpaca farm and the mill, and my whole setup just fell, just came crashing down. So I had to reset everything up. But as I was saying, I talked to the people at A Simpler Time Alpaca Mill, And look at this cute picture. Alpacas are just the cutest things ever. So I was talking to her, and I was seeing all these different things. I said, well, where's the yarn? And she had a basket full of yarn, and she dyes it herself. And so I picked up 2 hangs of this gorgeous mint color yarn. And it's incredibly soft. Alpaca is really soft anyway. But this yarn is 70% baby alpaca, 20% silk, and 10% cashmere. So you can imagine how incredibly soft this is. I mean, this is like butter. Absolute butter. I mean, if she would have had a third of this color, in this color, I probably would have bought it. So I have to figure out what I can make with this beautiful, luxurious yarn. And hopefully one day I will be able to take a tour of the mill and the alpaca farm and like do some kind of blog about it, because I'm really interested in talking to them and building a relationship with someone so close to me that is an actual mill that processes fiber. I think that'd be great. The other thing I acquired was the colorway for the Tits Out collective that happened in July. I bought this, love the color, this yarn that I fell in love with from Moon Tower Dye Works. I think this is a favorite of Hannah's. So I bought this yarn to support the Tits Out collective, which, if you have been following podcasts, you guys know that it was started by Countess Ablaze. And if you go to her website, you can read all about it. But all of these incredible dyers and makers got together on one day, released their interpretation of her colorway. And so one of the things that they had to do was donate to a charity. So I chose Moon Tower Dye Works because I love the color. I really, really, really love it. So I will have to see. Ooh, maybe I can. Maybe this is gonna be the next Rapture. You never know. So yeah, that was my other acquisition, Yarny acquisition. I also got some happy mail just today, as a matter of fact, from Allie of the Little Drops of Wonderful podcast. She sent me a package, and I want to share it with you because it's so cool. You know, Allie is known for her dodgy bags, and now I have my own Allie dodgy bag, which there is nothing dodgy about this bag, Allie. It's perfection. I love it. And the inside is so pretty. It's this cloud fabric. Look, there's clouds inside my bag. How cool is that? And it's really pretty flowers fabric with the perfect polka dot canvas. And she sent me, look at what she sent me. She sent me a Frida Kahlo pin. You guys know I'm a crazy Frida Kahlo fan. Know that I am. But I got this amazing pen. And I got this gorgeous, gorgeous, beautiful card. I didn't even read this. It says, this is a card designed and made by one of the artists at the museum where I work. Look, you guys. And it's got little jewels. It sparkles. How beautiful is that? And I got this gorgeous hook. I'm going to use this for my hooks. When I go to the UK, my hooks will be in here. Little pouch for my hooks. And beautiful Allie dyed yarn. She dyed this. It's so pretty, Allie. I love it. It reminds me of a popsicle. It definitely does. It reminds me of a summer popsicle. My kids keep eating these popsicles. Look at all the beautiful colors in that. So pretty. I love it. And then there's this sparkly notebook. Sparkly notebook. A cool little postcard that I can color, which is awesome. And then she sent me chocolate, which I'm not sharing with anybody. No, I'm not. I already ate one, but there's chocolate and candy. I'm not sharing it. No. My kids already get enough stuff. This is just going to be for me. Is that selfish? I also wanted to mention that in the Happy Mail that Allie sent me, she sent me a boatload of stitch markers, and it just put a huge smile on my face. I'm not even joking. When I mean a boatload, I mean a boatload. Look at all these beautiful stitch markers. I've got butterflies, and I've got beautiful little seahorses and hearts and keys, and here's a little star, sea star. So I won't be greedy. I will be sharing some of these with you guys, and I just wanted to make sure I showed you some of these gorgeous little stitch markers. Look at that. That's the key. And I want to say again, thank you so much to Allie for including, and you hooked me up. This is like amazing. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. So I will be sharing some of these with my podcast viewers, because you guys have to have some of this Allie love on your projects. Look at this beautiful little heart. But this, love it. Love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Allie. I love everything you put in here. I love this yarn. I will have to make something ASAP with it. That's how I roll. When I get handmade yarn, I love to just incorporate it into a project. So I love it. And oh, and then look at this. Look at this cute little sticker. I'm a big sticker fan. I think you guys know that, but I'm a huge sticker fan. I like, if people send me things with sticker, I always save them. I cut them and I'll glue them or tape them, but I'm a big sticker fan. But yes, I have my own dodgy bag. And for those of you who might be interested, the dodgy pins, the dodgy bag pins, badges are still available in my Etsy shop. I am still trying to raise funds to make a nice donation to Parkinson's UK. So I would love for you guys to support that, and I will give you an update on the next podcast as to where we're at and the final donation that will be made. So thank you, Allie. Thank you so much for my beautiful bag. Let's get to some pattern palooza. I have some patterns this time around, keeping in mind that I think it was Alicia. No, I don't know. I'll put the name here. Someone reached out and they had, I think, less than 650 yards of yarn, and they wanted some ideas about patterns and stuff. So I tried to find some that were in that range. It was actually kind of difficult, but I will show you what I found, which I thought was really, really pretty. The first one is that Mezzaluna Shawl. I believe this is a free pattern. And if you look at this pattern, here's a nice close-up of it. If you look at this pattern on Ravelry, it has a lot of variations, so I think it's worth taking a look at. It has different yarn quantities, I believe, and it also, I think, has a different border option, so I think this could be a versatile pattern. The next pattern is a free pattern, and it's called One Big Cake Shawl Scarf by Nina Nicholson. I thought that was really pretty. You can see the different. This is a free pattern, and it says worsted weight, and the yardage is 600 yards. So if you've got worsted weight and you've got about 600 yards, you can make this really pretty shawl. Then there's one that I want to make, and it's a paid pattern called Jody's Challenge, and it is also worsted weight, 600 yards, and it's this really pretty kind of scarfy thing with this really pretty button. This is a paid pattern, and it's called Jody's Challenge, by Jennifer Gilman. Next I have another paid pattern called Vivian Shawl by Andy Graves. This is 651 yards. I thought that was really pretty. This is a paid pattern. I found another paid pattern for a top that I want to make by One Dog Wolf. This is an amazing top. I love the way this looks. And you can also make it in a solid color. You can see it here. This is a paid pattern. It's called Diagonals for Days Corner to Corner t-shirt. Thought that was really pretty. And then this is a free pattern, and the only reason I chose it was because I thought it was a pretty impressive schematic. There is no written instructions. It's a Japanese, I think it's from a Japanese pattern, but it's a free pattern, so I'm not giving anything away by showing you the schematic, but it gives you the dimensions here, and it gives you the chart right there, the graph, and it gives you more dimensions, and there's a video tutorial that you can access. And this is called Basket Weave Purse. It's this cute little purse right here. I don't know, I was really intrigued by this pattern because of the way it was set up. I think it would be a challenge for me to do, but I love the size of the bag. I think it's a cute little bag, and I love the pom-poms on it. So that's what I have for Pattern Palooza. Next, I do want to talk to you about one more of Faye's patterns. She has a new bag collection out, and it's amazing. It's called the Celiac Collection. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. And there was a point where you could get this for free. I don't know if that still applies, but you can make all of these bags. Everything, the instructions for all the different sizes are in the pattern. It's incredibly well written because, of course, it's Faye. And I just happen to be where my kids are getting their academic support this summer. Happens to be at Liberty Station in Point Loma, which is a beautiful shopping center, and there just so happens to be a yarn shop. And I've actually have shown you guys yarn from this yarn shop before. It's Apricot Yarn and Supply. I bought some of the yarn for my Lucinda shawl there, and the owner, Sarah, is just lovely. She happened to have a display of the Erica Knight Gypsy Gosopium. I don't even know how do you even pronounce that, Faye? I don't even know. The cotton yarn that Celiac uses, she had it there. So I picked up this color combination because I thought it was really pretty. And I'm hoping to be able to do one of the bags. I'm hoping to do this one right here. And see the combination here. This is, I think I have black and this is gray, but I think it will go nicely anyway. So I was inspired by this color combination, but I'm hoping to make this bag. But you can make the other, this tote here will fit a laptop. So this This collection was just put out by Faye in July, I believe. Yeah, last month. So check it out. But how crazy. I was telling the owner, Sarah, I said, you know, she's got a couple of crochet items in her shop, but it's mostly knitted. And I said, you know, there is an amazing collection of bags that uses this particular yarn. So she was surprised and like interested. So I'm hoping that if I can make one of these to take it down so that she can see it, that maybe we can get some of Faye's patterns in a shop here. I mean, that would be amazing, right? So that is another pattern that I wanted to make sure that I shared with you. And then also I wanted to talk to you briefly about the Etsy shop. My Etsy shop right now is bagless. I have sold out of my last bag, so I'm working on new bags. But I do have my newest collection of buttons there if you haven't checked it out. I would highly recommend that you do that. I'm thinking about running a sale for a couple of weeks and then closing the shop down because I want to revamp some things in the shop. And I will tell you right now, there probably is going to be a little bit of a price increase due to the Etsy fees and all that. I've gotta rework some numbers so that it makes sense to price the things the way I have them priced. So I will run a sale to hopefully motivate some sales and have new pins in the shop soon. And I want to thank every single person who has purchased from my shop. Thank you so much. Your support means so much to me. It is such a joy for me to create these pins. I have so much fun doing it, and I'm so crochet centric, and I want to keep it that way. I want to make all the crochet pins. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, I have a series of equal opportunity yarn lover pins that come in 4 different colors. This is the lavender. I have a Happiness is Crochet design that comes also in 4 different colors. This is the pink one. This is the hot seller. I have a Not a Yarn Stop pin that looks like this. And do I have that backward and upside down? Yes, I do. There you go. There you go, Not a Yarn Stop. And this Not a Yarn Stop design, I'm going to be working it into a new design, which I'm really loving. I have my Yarn Vixen pin, because we're all Yarn Vixens, no matter what type of yarn that we use, we're Yarn Vixens. And of course, my newest pin is my Crochet Powers Activate pin. Now let me tell you a little story about this. I was talking to Zelda, who is ZNRJ3. Yes, I'll put it down here. We were talking back and forth, and we were talking that we were having a moment of RA weakness, flare up, and commiserating in our pain. And we were talking about, you know, being strong and powering through it. And we're like, you know, Wonder Twin Powers Activate. If you don't know what that means, it's because I'm really old. It's an old cartoon. It was 2 twins who, when they touched, they would say Wonder Twin Powers Activate, and then they would have to say what form they wanted to take. One did everything with liquids and water and that type of thing, and then the other one did stuff with animals. So, you know, we were laughing about that, and several days later I kept thinking about it, and then Comic-Con was coming up on us, so I decided to just whip this one out, and I said Crochet Powers Activate. I'm really loving the reception of this pin. I want to thank everybody who has bought this pin. It was a really fast, quick, just the perfect design for me. I was just like, oh yeah, I know exactly what I want it to look like. So just want to remind you that my Crochet Friends is the Best of Friends pin is still available, and my Crochet Luna pin, as well as the original Yarn Loving Crochet Sisters pin. Once this pin sells out, I will not be reordering this pin. This will be a one-of-a-kind run, and I will redesign this pin basically. So if you get a hold of this, is the original Crochet Sisters pin. It is a one-of-a-kind basically, because once I'm out, I'm out. I won't be reordering them. So check out the shop. I will put the sale out, I think starting maybe this Friday. So I will put an announcement on Instagram when the sale is good, and what it's good through. And then once the sale's over, I'm going to shut down the Etsy shop, and then I will revamp some things, and I will tell you there probably will be a little bit of a price increase on all the items across the board. So once the sale happens, you really should get in there and grab some pins before the new prices come, you know, apply, because I just need to do numbers, and I need it to make sense, and I'm really looking forward to a whole new collection of pins. So I want to close off by giving you a little update on my 2 trips that are coming up. The first one I already talked about, which is in Las Vegas, August 12th through the 15th, I believe. I will put the dates down here. I am looking to do a crochet meeting, hopefully at Sin City Knits. I will have more details on that. If you are interested, please contact me so I can give you the time that we will be there and the date that we will be there. I'm working on that, and I would love to see you guys. Anybody that wants to come out and crochet with us. It's gonna be for sure me and for sure Hannah, and there's 2 other lovely babies coming out that you may know from YouTube land, that are gonna be there crocheting along with us. And so come out and have a good time. I will also tell you that in terms of Yarndale, as I already mentioned, I have everything planned. It's around the corner. I am really excited. I believe that Faye is putting together a little picnic there so that we can meet and crochet, because there's not really a podcasters lounge or a podcasters get together, but I know that Faye and I have talked about getting together and being able to just hang out and have like a picnic. And you are all welcome to come and bring your crochet and crochet with us and have snacks. I'm ready for Yarndale. I have my tote, and I will have Sharpie pins, and I want everybody to sign it. So I'll have my signed tote as a souvenir. I'll probably do some crochet on this, maybe add something to make it pretty. But you'll see me with my Crochet Luna tote. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see you guys, and I can't wait to buy yarn and meet face to face. I know that Catherine from Crafternoon Treats will be there. I am so excited to meet you, Catherine. I have been following your podcast for a very long time, and I am a huge fan of the beautiful yarn that you dye and of your podcast. I love it. I have always loved your podcast. So that's it. Thank you so much for sticking around. This is probably a super extra long episode. I don't even care. I am doing some revamping of the channel come fall, which will probably be after my UK trip. I have some ideas of what I want to do, what I want to develop the channel to be. But we'll see. I have some ideas, and I have some things that I want to do. I have other things coming down the pipeline that I can't share right now, which I'm really excited about. And I wish you guys nothing but the best for the remaining of the summer. Please keep putting those FOs in the finished object thread for the Summer Romance Cal. You guys are amazing. Amazing to participate. Amazing with what you're doing. I love it. There was one other thing I wanted to mention. I don't remember. Oh yeah, I haven't mentioned anybody else's cows because I've kind of been out of it, but I know that Allison and Vivian of the Keep Calm and Carry Yarn podcast are running their annual cow, so don't forget to put in your FOs in their thread as well. I mean, crocheters are kicking ass, so really, I mean, but still, go ahead and do it because there's going to be great prizes available. And I just love to see the numbers just go up and up and up for us crocheters. Did I mention I have a new mug with my logo on it? I had this mug made. Look at this. So it's my new logo, but it's my new logo plus. Like, I like to play around with my logo and add fun things to it, like the stars in the Crochet Luna pin. And for this card that I had made for the podcast so that I can write notes, I added some little alpacas and llamas and just a little heart. So it's my logo, but I've embellished it. So I have that put on a cup, and I love it. So again, thank you as well. Thank you for staying tuned. And I am Crochet Luna on Instagram, Ravelry, Facebook, and my blog is Crochet Luna. My blog will be revamped as well in the fall. I have some plans for that. So lots of good things coming our way in the fall. You know, the fall is the start of our year, really. But stay cool. Stay positive. I'm sending you good vibes and big hugs. Big shout out to the Canadian crocheter. Thank you so much for the lovely words on your podcast. And I can't believe I made the list with Christine Kelly, who I absolutely love. She is such a pro at her podcast. So thank you so much for including me in that list. And good luck to everybody. Good luck to everybody in your projects. Crochet on, and I will see you next month. Bye.